let me put you in the mindset of a doodle owner, okay? Maybe not all of them, but the one I came across. She goes, oh, like, this is a sheepadoodle. And I'm like, oh, like English sheepdog and a doodle. Or poodle. Good. And she was like, yep. And I was like, can I just ask you something? Like, what made you get him? Like, just, I know y'all are going to think this is so rude, but I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, okay? I'm trying to understand the thought process of paying $7,000 for a month. Anyways, so she was like, oh, the coat. And I was like, oh, the coat type. Like, cool. Like, I feel like it's so much harder to maintain, like, 2 different mixes of fur versus just, a poodle or whatever. Anyway, so I was like, oh, like, did you ever look into, like, a poodle or, like, a Portuguese water dog or, like, another dog with, like, a curly-ish type coat, curly retriever or anything like that? And she was like, to be honest, I just don't like, how they're shaved. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, oh, like, the Portuguese water dogs, like, a lot of people were recommending them to me, but they're, like, half shaved. Like, half their body doesn't grow fur. And I was like, no. Shaved. And they're like, no, like, you know how, like, half their body just doesn't have fur? And I was like, yeah. Like, their haircut. And I'm, like, obviously I'm explaining it, like, a little sassy on here, but I was like, oh, yeah, like, their haircut. And she's like, yeah, like, I just don't like how it doesn't, like, grow all over. And I was like, oh, it does. No, its hair grows all over. Like, she was like, same with, like, a poodle, like, like, with the big round. And I was like, oh my god, like, a continental cut. And I was like, wait, like, no, it doesn't grow like that. I think poodle owners wish it grew like that. It doesn't grow like that. I was like, yeah, that's, like, a lot of maintenance. I was like, yeah, I fear, that's actually the haircut. Like, when you take your dog to the groomer and, like, you ask them to shave them down, like, they can shave them in that, like, haircut. And she was like, really? Are you sure? Of course, there's so many breeds out there, but, like, that one might fit you. Just, like, if you live an active lifestyle, if you're up for grooming, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, I'll look into it. My job here is done.